A spiritual teacher named Gary Zukav, I read his book, I think 10 or 11 years ago, The Seed of the Soul. He wrote down in his book, every intention we have planted in us will create an experience. Every intention. It might not be the way as you wished or as you wanted or as you thought, but it might be even something much, much better. But it would come to you unexpectedly, in an unknown, in a moment that you would never have expected. And he also says, I love this, no question in the universe is unheard and no question in the universe goes unanswered. And Michael Singer, the writer of the Surrender Experiment, would say, let go that it will happen a certain way. Let go and don't resist the process. Okay, let's just start. Welcome to a new episode of the Bridging Podcast.
Tomorrow is going to happen whatever we do. Is it better to go into tomorrow trusting a voice, a practice, process, a way forward? Or is it better to go into tomorrow filled with fear and not believing the things that have gotten you here so far?
Create a new reality. I close my eyes and I will be there. I will dream it. Hello everyone, it's Özlem and welcome to the newest episode of the Bridging Podcast. The Bridging Podcast brings you on a bridge where you can learn, practice and transform in all areas of your life if you do the work and practice. So if you did not subscribe yet, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe for all videos that we are posting there. Thank you so much for being there together with me today. This is a special episode. This episode is a solo one, the first one that I am doing solo in Bridging. In this episode, I'm going to share with you my experience on how I manifest things in my life. When I'm in manifesting mode, I make sure that I go through 5 very, very important steps for me. The first one is decide. Then I create an intention. After intention, I feel it. And then I trust. And the last, and maybe most importantly, I surrender. And I will cover these 5 steps in this episode together with you today. So the first one, which is really important and sometimes it's even overlooked by many people on, hey, I don't need to decide. I just dive into my intention. But deciding is so important because once you decide, you take full responsibility that you have decided this. And along the way, you will know like, hey, remember Özlem, I decided this, Özlem, and it is your personal responsibility. And even if I may now face in my life that I don't want to decide, or I'm fearful to decide, or something is happening and I don't want to decide, what I do then, I still say to myself, I decide to not decide. Because then again, I take ownership. I feel like I have decided to not decide. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not judging anyone. I'm like, no, it was me. And I am doing this in a compassionate way. So first, you need to decide, what do you want? What do you exactly want? And for me, what I do, I usually sit on my couch, put my hands on my heart, because then I truly feel my inner being. And when I close my eyes, I feel like, hey, what do I really want? What is it? And I work on thinking and feeling unlimited. I'm not thinking like, hey, but I want this, but it might not happen. Or I want this, but there is this rule there which I can't do. Or I want this, but I can't do it because I don't have enough money. Or whatever that is. So a lot of limiting beliefs might come up. But because I'm so committed on thinking and feeling unlimited, I just go through my heart, close my eyes and feel, what do I truly want? And I also ask myself, why do I want it? When I put the why behind it or next to it, I feel like, hey, it is actually for a higher purpose. I give you an example. So in my early 20s and teenager years, I wanted to be skinny and fit. And the reason I wanted that was I wanted to look good. I really wanted to look good. So I got approval from many people. And then when I turned 30, this changed. When I met a very dear friend of mine, he mentioned like, hey, but do you want to be fit because of only that reason, or is there a higher purpose? Then I felt in my heart, what is another higher purpose for me, that I want to be healthy? And that was, hey, when I am healthy, I can show up better. I can help other people better. I can contribute much better at work. Because I'm healthy, my mind will be also healthy. So that is a totally different why of the what I wanted. That's actually helped me to stay fit, be fit, experience health. So what and why, the why I think is maybe even more important than the what, I believe are very important. And I would also say be crystal clear. And if it doesn't come up into your mind, what I would recommend you is what I was doing. I was drawing the situation that I wanted to create. I will just get back later on the intention side. I will explain more. You can draw it, you can write it down, you can journal it, you can write a whole big story around it. Hey, what do you exactly want? And as I said again, it is so important to decide from your heart and think, please, unlimited. When I teach students in primary school. When I teach them, I say like, hey, think unlimited. Think as if you can do anything, anytime, however you want, whatever you want. And you need to really be in that thinking mind. Okay, after you have decided, it's important you set an intention. I give you an example. When I was a child, my parents were fasting during the Muslim month Ramadan. And some of the mornings I woke up with them, and my mom and my dad, they taught me, both of them, like it's very important that you set an intention for the day. So what we did as a child, we were fasting half day or some hours, but we set the intention like, I intend to fast today until the afternoon or until the sun sets. And I felt it in my heart. I remember I was closing my eyes, and because of that intention, I could fast few hours or maybe only till the afternoon when I was a child, but later on when I was an adult, I did the whole day. But I remember that intention was so powerful. I try to get that in my mind. When I know what I want to manifest, I just feel that feeling that I had as a child. For example, some people come to me, actually a lot of people come to me, they ask me like, but how do I create abundance? What is like the intention I should set? The intention really it belongs to you. You need to feel it. I can give it to you, but you need to feel it. I can share my experience with you. What I do is I am always in the present moment. I don't think I want to be wealthy or I want to experience travel. No. I am already that person. I give you some examples of some of my abundance intentions, which I used to have, and some of the days I still have them. One of them is I experience unlimited abundance. So I experience, it's not I'm going to experience, no, I experience unlimited abundance. Even in the visible world, it's not there yet. I already feel inside of me that I experience, because first you need to really feel inside of you that you experience it, and then everything on that frequency will come to you. So the other one is I am free and do anything whatever I want, whenever I want. And the other one was I experience freedom. So for another intention for health, I used to have 7 years ago. I used to travel a lot for work, and I had to skip always my gym sessions. And then once I came back home, I couldn't go to the gym because I skipped 5 days. I was like, oh, I don't want it. I was like, hey, I want to have a routine, and I want to create a habit that I can exercise and train wherever in the world. And I thought, hey, I want to become a runner for that, because when I am a runner, I can run anywhere in the world. I'm not depend on any city or country or any travel schedule even. So I decided to set the intention, I am a runner. Not I'm going to be a, no, I am a runner, even though I couldn't run 1 kilometer. It's not a joke, truly. And the other intention was I train my body and I am healthy and fit. These were my intentions. So I told you the intention for the abundance and intention for the health. After that, you write next to every intention, what kind of emotion does the person feel once that intention is already there? Like, for example, when I say I experience unlimited abundance, if that is my intention, I already feel inside of me, I'm so grateful. That's an emotion. I am unlimited. That's an emotion. I'm worthy to receive. That's an emotion. With the health one, I'm a runner, for example, emotions that I would feel were I am fit, I'm healthy, I contribute to the world with a healthy mind. So these were the emotions. I wrote them also both down. Once I do that, the next step is you need to feel them as it is already happened. Years ago, I think 10 or 11 years ago, I still cannot remember the exact book, but I think it was the book, The Power of Habits from Charles Duhigg. He wrote down there that there was this swimmer. This swimmer was every day before she went to bed, visualizing, feeling all the actions she was going to do during her swim at the Olympics. So she was just thinking like, hey, strokes, another stroke, another stroke, another stroke, another stroke, another stroke. And she was just going there and swimming and getting actually winning the Olympics. Once she was in the real Olympics, her goggles fell off. So she didn't have any goggles. But because she visualized it so many times, the way she was going to be during that race, she won the Olympics, even without goggles. So what I do is I stand up in the morning. The first time what I do not check my phone. I do not do any other things. I just sit down on my chair. You can choose to sit on a pillow, not in your bed, because then there might be a chance that you're going to fall asleep. I sit with a straight spine on my chair and I feel the emotions with a guidance meditation. And usually I use the guided meditations of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I use, for example, changing boxes. I use tuning into new potentials. I use generating abundance. And there are a lot of them. You can check them all on his website. So then I sit down, and what happens with me, I put my hands again on my heart, because when I put my hands on my heart, I feel my whole inner being. And then I sit there for 30 to 50 minutes and I feel all the emotions, everything. I feel as the unlimited abundant person. I just have all these feelings going through my body, through my head, through my heart, my legs, my arms, that I'm super abundant, that I draw things to me, that I don't need to put any efforts to go there, but that it just comes to me. Also in terms of health, I just not only visualize, very important. It's not that you see someone there that is being healthy. No, you need to feel that you're healthy, that you feel fit, that you contribute to a greater world. And what happens automatically with me, my face, I'm smiling. All of a sudden, I'm just smiling. And I'm just totally gone that I am sitting there and feeling all these emotions from, I think, 30 to 50 minutes. I sit for a long time. And then once I get up of my meditation, I am a different person than the person that started the meditation. It's so important once you have felt this all, that you are during your day, that you are walking as the new person that is feeling fit, that is feeling abundant, that is feeling unlimited, that is feeling free, that is experiencing freedom. You walk as it, you talk as it, you give as it, you receive as it. For example, an abundant person does not hesitate to give because she is already abundant. I mean, when I feel like, hey, I actually want to go to another retreat of Dr. Joe Dispenza, my mind goes first like, hey, but actually maybe I should pay a lot for that. I shouldn't go. But then I know, oh, it's you again. It's the old Özlem again. Trying to live in scarcity, trying to live like, hey, but I might not have the money to go. Let's not go. But then I know it's you again. The new person is already abundant, is already being that person that is abundant. And when I do that, let's say I have already manifested. What I did there is I set the intention, I felt all feelings, and I think the most important step after that, you need to trust it. So you need to trust the process. You have set the intention, you felt all emotions, and then you need to already behave like I am that abundant person. I am that healthy person. And trust that it will happen to you in the visible world unexpectedly, in a moment that you would never expect it. The last step, I think the step goes together with the trust one, is you need to surrender to your creation. So you have decided what you wanted, you have intended, you felt it, you trust it, and now you need to surrender. You need to surrender to the flow of life, what's the right thing for you, what you intended, will happen at the right time, and most probably at a time that you would never ever expect it. A spiritual teacher named Gary Zukav, I read his book, I think 10 or 11 years ago, The Seed of the Soul. Beautiful book. I highly recommend you. He wrote down in his book, every intention we have planted in us will create an experience. So every intention, it might not be the way as you wished or as you wanted or as you thought, but it might be even something much better. But it would come to you unexpectedly, in an unknown, in a moment that you would never have expected. And he also says, I love this, no question in the universe is unheard and no question in the universe goes unanswered. And Michael Singer, the writer of the Surrender Experiment, would say, let go that it will happen a certain way. Let go and don't resist the process. So I would say one more time, the steps that I'm using to manifest anything in my life are, I first decide, I set an intention, I feel all the emotions of what I want to experience, I trust and surrender. And honestly saying, surrender is for me the biggest challenge, but I'm working on it. Thank you so much for listening, for being here together with me. I hope you have learned something, and please write down below in the comments if you have any questions, if you want me to go through any other topic, happy to do that. And thanks for watching on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and listening to any podcast channel. Have a lovely day. Bye.